Evening, everybody. It is 5:52, and this is your closing comment for today, the 26th of December. It is video number 2021. Interesting. Okay, there really wasn't much news around. The market was doing its, kind of a melt up. It started to the upside, was slow, gaining momentum, and got up uh, and went sideways from about noon or so till about 2 o'clock. Then it put on another sprint to the upside, making the new high right around 3:30. But then, in opposition to the way that it has been acting lately, it didn't spend the last 15 to 30 minutes with a run to the upside. It actually came in a bit, closing off the high, but still, all in all, a pretty good day, up 0.4%, 159.36 in the Dow, 81.60 in the NASDAQ for 0.54. The S&P up $20.12 or 0.42. The big gainer, again, was the Russell up 25.23 or 1.25%, and the Dow Jones Transports only up 0.25% or $40. Advanced declines were about 2.8 to 1 on the NYSE, 2 to 1 on the NASDAQ, and volume was 6.1 billion, which is getting back into the high end of the recent moves in the market. Chart on the screen is the oil. And, as I have continued to say, every time we bounce off this 200-week moving average, it looks terrible. And basically, you have to hold your nose and buy it. And that's exactly what I said last week and the week before, and here we are. This is the third week in a row so far, and it's only one day. But as everybody knows, I'm a big fan of higher highs and higher lows, and we had that coming off the break 3 weeks ago and closing above the 200 week, then last week again being higher, and then this week so far up about $2.01 already. Um, the only thing that bothers me about this a little is the fact that the volume has been on the, well, it was on the downside last week from the week before, but that kind of figured because we were coming into Christmas. And of course, this week looks like it's lower volume, but in point of fact, it's only one day. So we don't have any clue what the volume is going to look like. But as I've mentioned a couple of times, all of these moving averages are all right in this same spot. And so it's kind of interesting. The cross to the downside didn't carry very far. It did take us from 79 or so all the way down to this low at 68, 67.98. But also the open interest is coming down during this same period of time, and so um, open interest going down and price going up is generally a sign of short covering. And a lot of these rallies start with short covering because everybody has been playing it, expecting it to break further, um, except us, of course. Okay, so let's take a look, just see what the rest of these markets did. The missed the wheat again. It opened at 615 got down to 611, which was right near the bottoms of recent time, and then turned around and ran up 20 cents. So it's been consolidating in here, and we'll have to see. A look at the daily is a lot more revealing. And I'll show you what I mean. And I'll bring this in substantially. I drew this trend line. It's in last night's letter as the area to break to the upside. We did break that up. It turns this into an ascending triangle that looks like it's breaking. We did move above and close above that 200-week MA. But what I'm looking for is a close above this 642 and a quarter. I think that that would set us up, and I'll show you a little bit more of this. Go out to a year. If we could close above that, I'm going to guess we could get up into this 675 area, 674 area. We're above all of the moving averages, and it looks like the open interest has been going sideways as price has been going sideways. We'll know in the next day or two when we see this on the daily chart and see if it has taken a move up. The problem with this, as I mentioned in last night's note, is that there are divergences here. We have, sitting in a neutral area in the RSI, but the MACD rolled over a week and a half ago. So it's really been a tough one to trade. And again, I did not pull the trigger and am relatively happy about that. The gold. The gold in here was basically unchanged, up 70 cents after being up $11. I'm still looking for a 21 20 area as an area to possibly be short. Uh, Copper was slightly lower. The silver was down 17 cents, which is not a big deal. The dollar was down. The Bitcoin was down 1,600. I'm looking for 41.5 to 41,000. We got down to 41,640 today. So if we follow through it all tomorrow, I may be looking to be a buyer there. We'd have to see how it closed. And the bonds were up about a half a point. So really, there was nothing in the news in particular. The only two economic numbers, and there are none tomorrow, um, and was the FHFA housing index was zero point 0.3. The prior was revised up from zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.7. The S&P Case-Shiller Home Index was 4.9. Briefing consensus was 5, and the prior was 3.9. So prices are still moving higher. I don't know what the sales numbers are. We'll have to see that the next time it comes out. Okay, the biggest news, of course, were the two deals. Bristol Myers buying Raise Bio, 61.40 up 30.83 or 100.9 on the 62.5 bid in cash, and AstraZeneca basically unchanged on their acquiring of Gracell Biotech GRCL at $10 per ADRs, and that was a 62% premium over Friday's price. And today's close was 992, up 373, or 60.3%. So, pretty much right in line. Again, there's nothing tomorrow. Thursday, of course, is claims day. Today, the 2 and 10 both came down a little, 2 basis points higher actually in the 2, and 2 basis points lower in the 10. So that 210 spread narrows. Today, there was a $57 billion auction of 2 year notes in the early afternoon, and it was met with strong demand. So there we have it, folks. I'll be back first thing in the morning.